Coquitlam-Maillardville.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. 2 years ago, the Minister of Housing and BC Housing promised to work with the community in determining the future of the Riverview lands. There were open houses, online surveys, and meetings with stakeholders. On December 17th, BC Housing unceremoniously released a draft document of the Riverview vision and invited feedback over the Christmas season. Now, BC Housing, Honourable Speaker, had to extend the timeline into February because the community didn't think the busy Christmas season would allow for proper and timely feedback. So my question is for the Minister responsible for housing. If BC Housing is truly interested in public input and feedback, then why did they post a job for a real estate project coordinator at the same time they released the draft vision document that invited community feedback back in December?
Minister responsible for housing.
Well, maybe the member, first of all, might want to get caught up, Honourable Speaker, on what's actually happening in Coquitlam in and around the Riverview lands, and would then maybe understand why you need somebody for real estate development when we're spending $170 million for a new mental health facility for adults, people with significant mental issues that are coming out of the Burnaby Centre for Mental Health and Addictions, for a new youth custody facility that is going to be modern and meet the needs of our children at risk on the streets, and additional housing on the site that's going forward. Somebody actually coordinates that stuff, Honourable Member, and that would what this individual do. And they will also look at and deal with the continuation of the visioning process, which has probably been the most extensive visioning process on any piece of land in British Columbia's history. The communities had their input. We will now move forward. The individual will also have to work with the members in touch with the local First Nations who have actually made a claim on the lands of Riverview and work through those issues. So obviously we need somebody to be focused on this, and that's why we're doing it.
Member from Coquitlam-Maillardville on a supplemental.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. That's an very interesting perspective, given that when we asked the question, we heard from BC Housing that it actually this position has nothing to do with actually working on the visioning document, that it's responsible for an electrical distribution upgrade and a transportation study. So very, very different response, Honourable Speaker. This real estate project coordinator job was posted before the community consultation process was even completed. So how can anyone ever believe this minister about anything he says?
Minister responsible.
$7.4 million annually is put into operating in the city of Coquitlam for housing for people that need it in British Columbia. Wow. There are 469 households in your community that receive rent assistance every single month to offset their income because low-income families, and Honourable Member, you don't even support the program. In addition to that, Honourable Speaker, there's 3 new projects in Coquitlam that the member actually opposed, and 502 seniors or households that are also receiving rent assistance every month to help them support themselves in that community.